Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Jamichael, and I'm here giving y'all another banger. And since I'm giving y'all another banger, if y'all could go ahead and like this video, that would really help. If you like basketball, then you would love this channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. It would really help out with this channel. But without further ado, let's get into today's video, which is going to be talking about Chris Paul. Chris Paul is fresh off a season where he averaged 18, 5 on 7 with great shooting splits and just led the Oklahoma City to the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Now, considering the fact that many people thought that the Thunder wouldn't even make the playoffs, they wouldn't even make the 8th seed, for them to finish with the 4th seed is absolutely insane. It was incredible for Chris Paul, and he has completely restored his stock in the NBA as a valuable point guard in this league. I'm very happy for Chris Paul after everything he's been through with injuries, the up and downs in Houston. I'm glad that he has finally seemed to find some sort of stability and his play has come back to an elite level. With that being said, Chris Paul has found himself in many trade rumors, and in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns. Now, when you really think about what the Phoenix Suns would have to give up to get Chris Paul, and when you think about the pairings of Chris Paul on the Phoenix Suns, it makes perfect sense. Now, a trade for Chris Paul, even though his contract is very large, wouldn't even be that hard for the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns would have to package Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre to trade for Chris Paul. There might be some other second-round picks or other pieces that might be added into the trade. However, it would mostly be building around those two players from the Phoenix Suns. And when you think about what Chris Paul would be on the Phoenix Suns, it is absolutely crazy. A pairing of Chris Paul and Devin Booker would be absolutely lethal in the NBA. Devin Booker is a future MVP level player, and DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, is a future all-star level player. We are not sure if Devin Booker's and DeAndre Ayton's primes will overlap with what Chris Paul will be able to produce, since he is 35 going on 36. However, in the immediate future, this would instantly make the Phoenix Suns playoff contenders. The Phoenix Suns would have a starting five of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Dario Saric, and DeAndre Ayton, with other great players such as Aaron Baines, Javon Carter coming off the bench. And when you factor in that Phoenix Suns have great small pieces that are up and coming, Jalen Leck, I'm not sure I'm saying his last name right, is a great up and coming player with great upside. Cameron Johnson also has great upside and can potentially be a great solid player in the future. When you think about the future for Phoenix, it has great upside. This would be the first time in a while that the Phoenix Suns would be favored going into a season to actually make the playoffs, which could feel really good for all the Phoenix Suns fans who feel like they've been stalling. Especially when you factor in that the Phoenix Suns in the bubble went 8-0 with great wins against the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers. You can obviously see that in Phoenix, this should be a great move, and if you are a Phoenix fan, you should be ecstatic about a move like this. Now, as great as a trade for Chris Paul would be, I do have some slight concerns. One of them is age, which is obvious. Chris Paul is 35, and he's going to be 36 next year, and you wonder how many good years does he have left to give a franchise, especially when you factor in that he's not just having some normal contract. No, he has a super max contract that will take up your team's salary for at least the next 2 years. That is something that you want to think about when it comes to Chris Paul. Another concern that when it comes to Chris Paul is injury. Now, Chris Paul was able to stay healthy this season with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he was able to lead them to 4 wins and really help the young guys and everything. However, when Chris Paul is around, things are great and things are functioning. But when Chris Paul gets injured and you are now paying an injury-prone older vet such a large amount of money, it now becomes a problem. So whether Chris Paul can stay healthy, because Chris Paul has gotten injured in critical points in the playoffs. So whether he can stay healthy in the regular season and then eventually in the playoffs, since they would be favored to make the playoffs next season with this trade, it would be interesting to see if he can stay healthy and if it would pay off in the long run for the Phoenix Suns. My last concern when it comes to this trade is that I wonder if Chris Paul wouldn't want to go to the Phoenix Suns. Now, a trade for Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns would make them playoff contenders, but does that make them title contenders? Because those are two different things. Chris Paul and Devin Booker would be a great pairing. I believe, of course, that they would make the playoffs. But can you really see the Phoenix Suns, even with Chris Paul, beating many teams, especially in the Western Conference, when we have the Warriors getting better, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Blazers, the Mavericks are going to be better, the Jazz. There are so many teams in the West that are just so great. I wonder if you were to trade for Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns, yes, you might have a great season, and yes, you might make the playoffs, but do you really see them as title contenders? Do you see them more as a first round or second round exit team, so to speak, if that makes sense? As Chris Paul is aging and he wants to ultimately, I think, win a championship, going to the Phoenix Suns doesn't necessarily give him the best opportunity to win a championship. He would absolutely leave a legacy in Phoenix Suns because he would put his imprint on the younger players, which would be great for their development. However, I wonder if he would be enough to win a championship, which I just don't see. I don't think the Phoenix Suns, as great as they are and the young core that they have for the future, I just don't believe, even with Chris Paul added to this roster, this would make them title contenders for the present. However, with all the negativity said about it, I do believe that if you are the Phoenix Suns, you should absolutely, positively pursue this trade. It is absolutely worth it. This would bring fan interest to a high. You would make the playoffs for the first time. I do believe, especially when you think about you wouldn't have to give up too much, I believe that this would be well worth it in the future. With that being said, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you do, please subscribe to the channel. I make basketball content, so if you like basketball, you would love this channel. But without further ado, guys, I'm out. See you.